There we go. Hello, you lovely people. Let me try that again with you actually talking this time, which should be good. Good evening to you. It is Wednesday evening in the UK. It is about 10:30 at night, and it is currently bucketing down with snow, which is a little unusual, considering we had pretty heavy rain before. I think some banks of rivers in the nearby parks and stuff are overflowing and all those sorts of fun things. So yeah, it's a little bit scary out there at the moment. So wherever you are, keep safe. I am resuming some of my Ansible all the things, and I would like to just quickly have a bit of a recap as to where we're going to, and then I will just tell you where I'm up to at the moment. So this is my Ansible all the things thing. It's a little bit odd in that what I'm mostly doing at the moment is not actually editing the Ansible side of things, mostly editing text files which will feed the Ansible script. This script is also pulling stuff. So I wrote in the life before, when I used to do infrastructure stuff, I used to do a little bit of really rubbish PHP coding. So when I need a quick and dirty script to do things, some people resort to things like that's ridiculous. How have I managed to disable that twice? That's ridiculous. So I don't know how much of that diatribe you got there. That's really annoying. Yes, so mostly I do Ansible stuff. And at the moment I am doing a little bit of PHP to basically just generate the YAML files that Ansible will be consuming later. It's not because PHP is necessarily the right job for the tool, right tool for the job, but it's the tool that I'm using, I'm comfortable with using. And so the PHP that I'm writing is actually going to feed the PHP. So this is, and again, I apologize profusely for the really, really ropey PHP that's in here. But essentially what I'm doing is I've got a whole load of source files. You're not going to see these source files in any of the repos that are linked to this project. This is basically just me transforming the data that is coming into the repository. So it's the raw data. And what I want to do is things like make sure that the email aliases aren't visible. I don't want I'm making sure that the data that's going in has been sanitized. So I only want the data that I actually need for this. But I also want to be able to comment out everything else that's in there that isn't used, so that I've not lost it, but I can tweak it and use it if I need to. But one of the things that I did when I ran this earlier, I'm going to do that, is I got this message, which was, so I ran the Ansible script and it said, error while loading YAML. unacceptable key, unhashable type, Ansible mapping, and it said it's because I've got this web hosting primary suffix. And when I opened up R, I found that, would you believe it, I do have that. Now, this is because in Ansible, Ansible handles curled braces, these things here, as arrays, because that's what YAML does. YAML treats that as an array. However, if you wrap two curled braces into quotes, it can treat it as a string. And the reason why we wanted to treat it as a string is because that is what Ginger 2, the templating language, uses to handle, what am I thinking it's called? Yeah, so Ginger 2, it's the templating language that Ansible uses. So this is wrong. It shouldn't be saying web underscore hosting colon primary suffix. Now, actually, what this is really telling me is that I've got quite a lot of weeding to do in this. And by weeding, what I mean is that this here, web hosting, should actually look more like, let me find a non-broken one. C, maybe? Coventry. Nope. 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 I need one that's got DNS name. Why are all these broken? Colchester. DNS. Nope. Not Colchester. Has a DNS record, doesn't point to anything. Fantastic, well done, John. Okay, let's try B. Berkshire, no. Birmingham, no, definitely that one, isn't it? Blackpool. No, that's broken as well. Oh, for crying out loud. Ah, hang on, that has got DNS name. DNS name Blackpool. Bradford. That's right. Still hasn't got the email, the web stuff. Very interesting. This is no good at all. I've got lots of problems in this one. Right then, let's pop back into here. Pass.php. So what do I need to do? Are any of these records right? I'm not sure they are, you know. Aberlog. Aberdeen, that should be a Viron too. That's not there. Yeah, sure, no. I've got big problems here. Why is the website stuff not working? So that's what it should look like. Let's have a quick look. Coventry under C. Destinations active. C. Coventry. Right. I have got a problem here then. Lost records. Right then, let's have a look and see what we've got down here then, parse.php. If web hosting, so let's close that down there because we don't need that right now. Pop back open C. I want to pop that open first of all. I want to open that up. So it should say web_hosting. If is set web_hosting, yep. Let's hide the displaced stuff. Do I need to install xdebug? Yes, I might do actually. Nope, that's not the right one. Oh. Let's see what that does then. Alright, I think I installed the wrong extension, so let's remove that because that's clearly wrong. Ah, I know why. Sudo -i install PHP xdebug. That's why, because I hadn't installed it. Phil. And I also can't type my right password in. That doesn't help either, does it? Right, let's try that again, shall we? I have not finished doing this then, have I? Install xdebug. Configure PHP to use xdebug. I think it's that one that I need. So let's try that again, shall we? Let's launch this. Oh, hang on, that's not right, because I'm in an extension, not actual file. Twit. Let's try it now. There we go. That's much better. Right then. If is set group web hosting. Right. So group web hosting is specified. Excellent. So let us step into this. So if is set group web hosting 2, we know that's there. Web hosting 2, active group, active Coventry. Oh, I know what it's done wrong. Right. So, in this script, somewhere near the bottom of here, is the bit where it takes all of the bump of rubbish that I've written and writes it all out into the file. So, what have I not done? Web hosting for each array. Web hosting as key. Because I didn't do it like that. That'll be why. Oh no, hang on. No, right. Okie dokie. This is where the problem is. Anyway, right. So, if no, that's right. Hang on. If is set web hosting. No, I need to do it the other way around. Okay. If is set group web hosting. That's right. Yep. However, if is set group web hosting 2 and is set group web hosting via, then dollar gap equals true f right file that lines up. Yep, that lines up. So yeah, as I mentioned before, this is not at all the bestest, brightest, beautifulest PHP in the world ever, but what it is just an easy way of transforming the shoddy code that I wrote into something that might actually be somewhat useful. Now then, I am being told by my stats that I have got a viewer at the moment. If you are that viewer, please feel free to join us in the chat, or join me rather in the chat, and I'll tell you about what I'm doing, what's going on, and all those sorts of things. And if you don't want to, well, that's also fine. Please feel free to enjoy yourself, and let me know if there's anything you want to know. Blum, 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 blum. What else do I want to do? Right. DNS records, I need to tell it to replace stuff. So let's have a quick pop into here. Go into my group variables and pop open the DNS. And find the host names for this. So I'm looking for web01, which has an IP address of that. And I'm going to say for line, so preg replace tilde that tilde with web-01. Was that web01? Yeah, web01. That. So I've got a feeling that I can do that as an array. If I do that as an array like that, I can do two DNS records that I want to change, which is web01 and SNM. SNM is not a dodgy term. It means static and managed. So S static and managed. No, managed. Blah blah blah. As you may tell, it has been a while since I've written any halfway decent PHP. Not that I am trying to imply in any way, shape or form this is halfway decent PHP, but I'm just saying this might look a bit like PHP. Think about what you're talking about, you feel. Oh, that's not good, is it? It is failing. On 667. What's 667 got to do with anything? Oh, I've made all sorts of problems in this one for myself, haven't I? And I can't even roll it back because it's not under source control. Oh, this is so annoying. I basically need to get this back to whatever the version was of it I was on before. Right. So let me rerun that and make sure that I've still broken it. Output to that one. Make dear, no such file or directory. I should have removed the destinations directory there, should I? Make dear destinations. Actually type the right thing. Yes, because when I was previously running this, it was rm-rf destinations star. Like that. Right, so I can put that back in again now. Haha. let's try that again, shall we? Undefined mail hosting. Online 683. Where's 683? If it's at blah. Ooh. Numpty. Yes. That's because it's supposed to look like that, you fool. Web underscore hosting. Right, so let's try that again, shall we, folks? Feeling a bit more positive? Yes. Right. Now let's have a quick peek into our destinations again. Active. See. So which one was it? Coventry, wasn't it, I think? Coventry has got web hosting. There we go. That's more like what I was after. Right. So let's copy those in. Go up into here, group files, hosted groups. Remove those two. Yes. And any moment now, it'll finish that. Fantastic. Right click and paste. Right, so we now have this back here. We can now go back into here. Should we open a new tab? Yes, let's open a new coding tab. To go back into our Vagrant machine. Vagrant. Click in there and type the right thing. Vagrant SSH. The snow's still falling, by the way, if you were interested. As I've said before, it's been fairly heavily raining this morning and today, in fact. But now it is snowing, so that's fun. Etc. Ansible install, and then we'll do our vault password, and let's see if this breaks again. And it has, but this is interesting. While constructing a mapping from active D, got duplicate entries, so hosted groups active D. Line 5. Oh, that's because it's in our way, you fool. I want the one in D. Where's the one in D? Line 50. That's more like it. Line 50. See, sometimes it's quite useful. 50. Gives me mailman, mail redirects, yep. Oh. That's interesting. I wonder how I ended up with 2 mail hostings. Mail hosting SNM's not right. That feels like it should be web hosting. It should be web hosting numpty. Right. So let's tell it to stop piping that out to less. And then we will say mv destinations active to Ansible group files, all hosted groups active. Yep. And then mv destinations gone. In fact, let's do it like that. Make sure it doesn't try and glob the wrong files in there into Ansible group files. All hosted groups gone. So what I should find is that those will have now gone because they're up in there. That's fine. Right. So let's pop back into a Vagrant machine and run that and see what this does now. Web hosting via primary suffix. Well, primary suffix is not a thing that exists anymore. But so that means that our sources just have a quick look at active P line 26. So line 26 is from Peterborough. So what does it think Peterborough is trying to say? So Peterborough is on S&M, which is right. So I need to go into hosted groups active. Peterborough. And so you are not via primary suffix, you are via S&M. And then we'll go back into here, we'll rerun that. Should really make this so it does an MV minus V, so we can actually see that it's moving files around, because otherwise I don't know that it's broken. Minus V. In fact, I should probably do. So in shell scripting, semicolon means run this no matter what happens. However, ampersand means only run this command if the previous command is completed successfully. So if I change that lot to ampersand, I know that all those files have actually been moved around properly. Excellent. Right. So let's pop back into there and run that and see what this one breaks on. So this now says active R. Ah, yes, R. This one was the one we got tripped up on previously. So active R. Line 200. Blimey, that's a long file, isn't it? 200, nearly there. Bum, bum, bum. Right, so this is again, web hosting is on S&M. It's almost like that primary suffix should have been S&M. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say look for that line. Because I think that's actually really rather useful. But I only want it in find the next instance. Again, Web 01. So many of these have gone, and you might be wondering, why do you still hold records for them even if they've gone? And that's because one of the things that we like to do with log.org.uk is make it so that if you if you've created a log, it means there was some interest for Linux user groups in that area in the past, which is all well and good. However, if they decide they want to come back, so they were previously running, they're not running anymore, but somebody else wants to run a group, it's worth letting people know that there was a group that used to exist there. So that's why we keep stuff there. Also, we have mailing lists and all those sorts of fun things. So it's well worth having the records to show that there was a group there, because you might find that, you know, if you're running a log later in life, you might want to come along and actually try and resuscitate that group. So you might want to re-email the emailing list. You might want to find the IRC channel if they've got an IRC channel and say, hey, we've got stuff here if you want to get in touch. Show Essex website gone, but it was on Web 01. So Web 01. And the next one is here. Ooh. X's log, completely gone. That whole thing makes no sense. What's because it was X's log.org.uk. Oh, okay. Let's say Web 01. We can always fix that one up later if we have to. Web hosting primary suffix web-01. Next one. FOD web-01. And the next one. Fungrola web-01. I'm guessing that was something like a Spanish expats group or something. Glasgow website gone. Web-01. See the fun and jollification you could have with Ansible, eh? Who would have thought it? Not me. Inverness does not even have a thing there. So let's say you are also on Web 01. JSUK on Web 01. So yes, I think this is all the old stuff from when we used to have hosting. So we used to have separate hosting. Web 01. Sorry, we used to have everything on Web 01, and we had a breach. Our website was attacked, and so we split off all the stuff that could be split off, because previously it was all very much where was it? It was everything on log.org.uk was hosted. So you had things like WordPress, basically anything that people wanted to run on there, they could run on there. Then we had this breach, and what we decided to do instead was actually make it so that to get your content on log.org UK, you had to be running one of our static and managed hosting sites. So S&M meant that we basically controlled what was going on there. But so as a result, all this old stuff, this was all on Web 01. So this must have all gone before the breach. Well, that was quite a while ago, really. But anyway, S&M gone. Web hosting, Littlehampton on Web 01. Web 01. Maritime Geeks, Chichester Harbour, blimey. I do sometimes wonder how people go about deciding that they want to start a log. You know, is it that they were in the pub with some mates and said, oh, do you know what, I run Linux, and somebody just went, oh, blimey, so do I? Or do you think it's where they, you know, all knew someone else? See, because lugs aren't that common really anymore. It's a bit weird. I think Canonical picked off a lot of the lug community, not on purpose, but they ended up picking up a lot of the lug community when they created the locos, the local communities. And to be fair, from the sounds of things, what the local communities were set up for was to actually do translations. It wasn't really for, ooh, you need to have quotes around you as well, don't you? It wasn't really for stuff like this. It wasn't for stuff like teaching people how to use Linux. It wasn't about, you know, I've just bought a new machine and it's running the version of Linux I want, or, you know, it doesn't run the version of Linux I want, help. It was supposed to be, you know, can you translate, you know, Bob into German, or, you know, rubbish. What's the right word for rubbish in your country? And things like that. But yeah, gonna make a pun. You're also Web 01, even though you've gone. Yeah, so I can't even remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, yeah. So the locos basically took over where the lugs were, to a greater or lesser extent. But I think they're still a really useful community, particularly if you've got, I mean, obviously not at the moment where lockdown's stopping anyone from actually seeing anyone, but user groups in general are a useful community. If only because it gives you somewhere else you can go and talk to people about stuff. You know, my thing isn't working, help me. And so on and so forth. Bear with me a few moments. Also Web 01. Also Web 01. It's weird how all of this lot is the old gone stuff. To the extent what I might do is I might do that. And say make it so it says that instead, and then vet all of these and find the ones right. I'm going to have to minimize this but reduce the font somewhat so I can actually see it. That one's right. That one's right. That one's right. That one's not right. I'm going to say that one's right. I'm going to say that one's probably right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, let's say you're right. You're right. You're right. And you're right. So I can do that for all those files. Yes. And now I can go S&M. So do that search, and that finds this one entry here, which is that one, and I can say yes, that one there. Fab. Right. So I'm going to close all of these windows. Save, in fact, file, save all maybe. So now I can close all these, close, 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 close. Now then, I also need to do colon. How I'm going to do this, I know. Alright, so I'm going to have to do colon, space, quote, quote. So this is regex. For those of you that don't know what regular expressions are, they are effectively hang on a sec. Why has that not worked? Oh, because it's plus your numpty. Yeah, so it's a way of finding complex strings in long statements. So, not going to do that with merge data. Then let's see if all of these files here that it's trying to do stuff with are all files that I want to make changes to. Yes, it does indeed look like it. But they're not. So what's that doing there? Yeah, so I want to say not that one, not that one, not that one, and not that one. And what I'm going to tell it to do is I'm going to say you need to be quote $1 quote. So yes, you can make lots of change. You can make searches pretty quick. So if I hit that, what does that now look like? That says quote around the thing I want. That works for me. Happy with that. And that one. And that one. Yep. Okay, let's run it. Let's go. Whoosh. Replace. Right. Let's try you again. Are you going to work this time? Ooh, that's a new one. Is it just that one file? In c.yaml, and that's gone c.yaml. Line 238. Line 238. So let's wrap that one up in as quotes and run it again. Well, it seems to be working. Are you going to work? Maybe. So the last couple of sessions, we got these bits above here working the way we wanted them to. I'm feeling quite positive about this right about now. Ooh. Right. So, etc. Bind. And let's have, let me just quickly check, make sure that there's no email addresses and stuff in here that shouldn't be in here. So I'm just going to stick you into entering secrets mode. Even though it's not actually entering secrets, it's looking at secrets, but we'll see. I don't really want to expose email addresses for people without them saying so. So let's have a quick look. Ooh, none of the groups have populated. I wonder why that is. Etc. Ansible install. Yeah, right, let's just quickly create a test file because I wonder whether it's that we're not loading the groups properly. In fact, I'm pretty sure that might be what it is. Gone groups. Oh, it's because it just prefixes it gone groups. That's not going to help in the slightest, is it? Right. Active group A. Active group B. So I need to open all of those up and say you are active group C, you are active group D. Let's close that. Let's close all of those for now. So I've done A, B, C and D. Active group E. Just so that you know, I'm going to have about 5 more minutes of this and then I'm going to finish off this. Just because it is nearly 11:30 in the UK and I had quite a late night last night anyway, so active group, that one works. Active group S, close that one, up to the top, active group R, close that one, active group P, same for that, active group active group N. I've just realised I'm typing all this stuff. You can't see any of it because I never checked. I never got around to finishing that thing off that showed me what those groups look like. That's a bit foolish of me, wasn't it? Never mind. Active group Ow. So why am I making these all called active group and then this underscore and then a something else, eh? Well, funny question that. What I'm actually doing is I have a separate file and I'm going to pop that one open in a second and show you what that one looks like. Active group E. Yes, active group F, yes. active group E, yes. Right. Down here I have this merge data thing, and this is going to be called for login lookup active group something. Let's call it group rather than lug, because it's not just lugs that are on here, even though it is lug.org. New, copy, paste, 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 paste. Oh, they were active groups, not active group. That's annoying. Active group. Because active groups underscore ABCD perfect. Replace fab gone groups. Right, so yeah, so what's going to happen is it's going to iterate over A to Z, and for each A to Z it's going to look for an active variable called active group underscore A to Z, and then from that we then get to the point where we can do a thing. Let's find the thing that we can do. I need to do the gone groups as well. Gone groups underscore A. Close, yes. Close up. Right, gone groups underscore Y. Nope. Cancel that. That should be a lowercase y. Yes. So yes, it's going to iterate over all of these and then just load the values from all these different groups into there. So it means that we can split this file up, which has got loads and loads and loads of stuff in it, across lots of different files. So that's good, isn't it? Active group gone group S7, group R. So hopefully my PHP stuff should all be done now, unless I find some crazy reason that it hasn't worked, in which case I need to do more fun stuff. Yeah, for certain values of fun anyway. With any luck at least though, I won't have the problem with these strings being broken then, which would be nice. Right, let's run this again. Wrong one. Oh no, it's the right one. Ansible. It's that one. Bum bum bum. Right, I'm going to give this one last thing just to check, make sure these files are all okay. And then once I know that they are, so I'm just going to stick you onto entering secrets again, and I must remember to come back to that. Or from that rather. This, etc. bind db.log, blah blah blah. No, it's still not doing it. Okay, that's annoying. Right, I'm going to have to pick this up another time because it's late. Have fun, everyone. And hopefully I will catch up with you guys sometime soon. Bye.